Journeys often begin at the end, or what is perceived as the end. Truth is, journeys never end. They don't begin either. In a never-ending cycle, we trudge through our lives, and so does a river. Periyar is the longest river in Kerala. It traverses 244 kilometers across central Kerala to reach its destination, the Arabian Sea. Once vibrant, once pure, Periyar, as it reaches its journey's end, is polluted by industrial, agricultural and domestic waste. The imprint of modern civilization. Just 20 kilometers away from Cochin International Airport is the Elephant Training Center at Kodanad. Placid flows the Periyar. Mountains beckon from not too far away. The Western Ghats, glory of this land. Among the shadows cast by towering trees, glimpses of another world. This is Periyar, the lifeline of Kerala. Born in the high mountains of southern Western Ghats, ancient, venerable. Periyar begins her journey from the Sundaramala hills. Yet, can one really pinpoint the location of the source of any river? Quietening the mind, deep in the forest, water drips down. Most rivers of the Western Ghats are born in these high-altitude grasslands. The Nilgiri Tar roams the inaccessible cliffs. The grasslands interspersed with shola forests arrest the surface runoff from the hill slopes. Like a huge sponge, the grass and the soil retain the water and release it gradually, ensuring perennial flow of the little streams. Millions of lives, seen and unseen, heard and unheard, survive here. The Periyar Lake is home to 52 species of fish. 9 of them are endemic, only found in these waters. Over the last 60 years, nearly 20 species have disappeared from the Periyar. Many are endangered. When habitats disappear, with them vanish invaluable biodiversity. Amphibians like frogs are the best indicators of environmental health. Many frogs and toads, which were once abundant in lowland paddy fields and other wetlands, have disappeared forever. Night is the best time to take a peek at the frogs in Periyar. The forests resonate with their courtship calls. They chirp, squeak, whistle and grunt. This is all-night partying. Along with attracting females, the incessant calls have the purpose of warding off potential rivals. Of the 27 amphibians recorded in Periyar Tiger Reserve, 10 are endemic to the Western Ghats. Frog, frog, croaking night, in the forests of the night. If William Blake had seen Nasicabatrachus sahiadrensis, he might have waxed eloquent about this rarely seen amphibian instead of the tiger. Not many have seen the purple frog, as it is commonly known, because it stays underground most of its life, surfacing for 2 weeks in a year to mate, and that too only at night. Another beautiful but rare frog is the Melanobatrachus indicus, which is included in the IUCN endangered list of amphibians. The forests fester with snakes, both poisonous and non-poisonous. 91 species out of the 240 recorded in India can be found here. The shield-tailed snake is a non-poisonous snake. It lives under the soil, feeding mainly on earthworms. Shaped like a shield, its tail end is different from that of other snakes. Though not big as the anaconda of the Hollywood movies, the Indian python can strangle big mammals. It is one of the most threatened species. Beauty is skin deep for pythons. They are killed in large numbers for their beautiful skin. Undisturbed, the forest floor is thickly bedded with fallen leaves. In due course, the leaves turn into rich humus. A fallen log is full of life. The death of a tree is part of a continuing cycle. All the energy that it collected from the sun, water and soil made a tree what it was. When it dies, the tree releases it all back to nature. As a tree dies, the first to come are moss and fungi and wood-boring beetles and termites. The log is gradually softened. It becomes food and shelter for many. Snails and insect larvae eat the fungi. Each new wave of settlers attracts a new set of predators. The forests of Periyar are replete with a great variety of spiders. Spreading their deadly traps across trees, on the ground behind little holes, they invite prey into their parlours. Nothing is wasted in nature. The best way to understand ourselves is to study nature. You will be awed by the similarity in behaviour between us and any insect that you see. We hardly realize how important insects are. If all of them were to disappear one day, humanity will not last more than a few months. The entire animal and plant world would be wiped off. Because insects are vital players in the nutrient cycle that keeps us alive. The Periyar forest is crisscrossed with innumerable streams that go to swell the river, and in every little water body, in dark forests or open marshes, you are bound to come across damsel and dragonflies. Dragonflies are strong, agile flyers compared to the damsels. While dragonflies rest with wings spread, the damsels, with their wings held close to the body, look so comely, slender and graceful. You might notice them flying around, flashing brilliant colours, but the odonates spend most of their lifetime in water as eggs and larvae. They come back to the same site where they were born to seek a mate. Linked to each other in tandem, here a pair of jungle grass dart fly above a pond. The female lays eggs on plants underwater. As the male holds her trembling, she takes a long dip, lays the eggs and leaves. Stream glory is a brilliantly coloured damselfly, usually found near forest streams. Malabar torrent dart is another beautiful damsel, which can live only near unpolluted waters. Periyar is one of the best places in the country for birders. Birds hop. They flit around among bushes and trees, peep out from nests, soar high in the sky, gaze impassively from the stumps on the lake, look imperviously at you from treetops. Some wouldn't care a hoot and glare at you. There are 323 bird species in Periyar. That's awesome, because Kerala has only 487 and the entire India 1,224. There is nothing in the world of birds as majestic as the great Indian hornbill. To watch it sailing in the air like a lumbering ship is a great reward in Periyar. Hornbills make nests in tree hollows. The female sits inside the nest, sealed up except for a hole to poke out her beak. She incubates the eggs for nearly 40 days. The male brings up food for her and later for the brood too, until all emerge ready to take to wing. The forests may seem paradisical to us, but life in the wild is a constant struggle to survive. Camouflage is one of the commonest strategies for survival. Blending into the background by the coloration or shape of the body, the creatures try to escape the notice of their predators. Two perfect examples of this are blue oak-leaf butterfly and the common evening brown butterfly. The eggs of this red wattled lapwing are so cryptically coloured that no predator can spot them easily. One of the most wonderful sights in the natural world is the metamorphosis of a butterfly. When a caterpillar ate up the plants in Lord Brahma's garden, he cursed it to turn into an immobile pupa. Later, forgiving it, he granted that a beautiful butterfly may emerge from the pupa. Myth sometimes illustrates science better. Watch the southern birdwing, the largest Indian butterfly, emerge like a flower petal caught in the wind. Even the casual visitor to Periyar would be assured of the sight of sambar, the largest deer in the country. The favourite prey of tigers, sambar is often taken down by dholes, the Indian wild dog. Dholes hunt in packs of 6 or 7. This big tree is near the boat landing at Thekadi. It is high and hollow. Bend your head and you can be inside the cavernous trunk. Very often, you will have company of the horseshoe bat. Most people are apprehensive of bats, probably the association with darkness and Dracula. In truth, they are harmless creatures. Bats are the only mammals that can fly. Occasionally you might come across a bat in daylight too. Here an Indian fruit bat is gorging on a guava, unmindful of human presence. Also known as the Indian flying fox, it is the largest bat in the world. The sheer diversity and density of plant life in Periyar is mind-boggling. 1,980 species of flowering plants, of which 515 endemic to Western Ghats, 171 grass species, 143 species of orchids. The list of uniqueness is quite lengthy. There are 28 impatient species in Periyar. They bloom even on the roadside cuttings, bathing in the little brooks. Go out, I beg of you, and taste the beauty of the wild. Behold the miracle of the earth, with all the wonders of a child. Podocarpus wallichiana, the only indigenous South Indian conifer, grows in Periyar. According to the Bible, the wood of Podocarpus was used to build Noah's Ark. This swaying tall grass could hide the pride of Periyar, the tiger. Have you seen a tiger? Say yes and you get instant respect and envy. National animal, we say proudly. Endangered, this majestic, most charismatic animal in our country has been hunted down to near extinction. With poaching non-existent, the tiger population in Periyar is finally limping back. It is next to impossible to get the exact number of tigers in the wild, but using techniques such as camera traps, the present estimation is 24. You have to be really lucky to see one. Largest mammal, most well-known mammal, most loved. Revered for its association with Lord Ganesha of the Hindus. Superlatives and adjectives are insufficient for this magnificent creature. Elephants are social animals. They have great attachment to each other in their herd. Youngsters are taken care of by all. In our self-assumed supremacy, humans have continued to ignore the fact that animals have an emotional life, perhaps more intense than ours. This elephant cub had been ailing for some time. It died, in spite of the valiant efforts of the herd. In the world of living creatures, there is no sight more heartwarming and at times more heartbreaking than that of the mother-offspring relationship. A primate that is commonly seen in Periyar and heard too is the Nilgiri langur. Hunted extensively for alleged medicinal properties, they have a refuge in Periyar. Nilgiri langurs are primarily vegetarians. Along with fruits, they love to eat leaves, seeds, flowers. They do have a weakness for tender young leaves. Mane like a lion, tail like a lion, and as few as the Asiatic lion, lion-tailed macaques hide up in the treetops. Walking through the forest, you might be suddenly shaken by the swaying of the high branches of a tree. The Malabar giant squirrel, as handsome as they come. 48 kilometers down from its source, Periyar is flagged down for a stop. In 1895, the Mulla Periyar Dam was built at the confluence of Periyar and Mulayar rivers. A vast expanse of prime valley forest went underwater forever. The forests around Periyar Lake became the haven for wildlife. In the present world, wilderness would not remain without our help, and we would cease to exist if there were no wilderness. The indigenous communities knew this symbiotic need. There is no human habitation in Periyar Tiger Reserve, but the people living in its fringes draw sustenance from Periyar. In turn, they help protect this immeasurable treasure. The Periyar Lake is the end of wilderness and the beginning of human civilization.
Periyar Tiger Reserve is the first protected area in the state of Kerala and the largest protected area. It is notified as its first-time sanctuary in 1934 as Nilgiri Game Sanctuary. Later it has been notified as Periyar Sanctuary in 1950. Became a part of Tiger Reserve in 1978, and then it has blossomed into a very well-managed park in the country. Over the period, we had been equipped ourselves with very good protection activities through anti-poaching camp sheds. We are managing eco-development activities to the best. We have community-based eco-tourism programs running throughout the year in a very professional manner. We have veterinary care facilities. We have Periyar Foundation, one of the excellent supporting mechanism for the park. And we have other staff welfare activities and pilgrimage management also being carried out very professionally. No doubt our park is one of the best managed parks in the country and recognized by national and international forums and organizations.
Far away from their wild cousins, the elephants of Kodanad walk, chained, tamed, subdued, like the Periyar. The flow of a river is in many ways similar to our life. Growing, gaining strength, a little stream is transformed into a thundering river. In full bloom of maturity, the river flows unfettered, unhindered. Yet, for all its vigor and power, the river is tamed downstream. Channeled through unfamiliar lands, abused, its spirit lost forever, the river enters the vast ocean. But the cycle does not stop there. As it enters the sea, Periyar ceases to exist, only to be reborn. Rains will lash the mountains. Periyar will gush through gorges. The wild and free will roam the forests. The onus is upon us, Homo sapiens.